people are all the same. The reason they act differently is because of education, because of hatred, or the education of hatred to change them into hostile and to do inhuman things. So education is the key to make the young people and the old to know what is the right thing to be a human being.
For most American students, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, D-Day, and the Holocaust create a vague outline of the Second World War, one in which the struggle against Hitler's Germany takes center stage, while the 35-year occupation of Korea, invasions across Southeast Asia, and China's desperate fight against the Japanese Empire go unnoticed. These events happened over 70 years ago, but many Asian Americans, including those in the Mercer Island community, still feel the pain, suffering, and loss caused by the Pacific War. And in light of recent events, we believe it is important for the students and staff of MIHS to recognize the significance of this often overlooked period of history. The Japanese Empire began its expansion into China in 1931 when an Imperial Army unit staged an attack on one of their own trains, blamed local insurgents, and entered Manchuria, a region in northeast China. Within 5 months, Chinese forces had been driven out and a puppet government established. In July 1937, Japanese forces staged another incident, this time at the Marco Polo Bridge, and began an invasion of the rest of mainland China.
Well, when I was about 10 years old, Japan occupied my hometown in China called Wuhan. And my mother and 6 of us, younger children, stayed behind. My father and my older sister and brother, they went to the interior.
On December 13, 1937, Japanese forces reached Nanjing, the capital of the Republic of China. The ensuing episode of rape and murder killed between 100 and 300,000 Chinese civilians, and continues to haunt the entire nation to this day. As word of the atrocities from Nanjing spread to the Western world, Imperial Japan faced criticism from the United States and other international powers, prompting them to set up underground brothels to, quote, reduce the incidence of random rape of local women. However, these comfort houses were established by luring, purchasing, or kidnapping between 80,000 and 200,000 women, euphemistically known as comfort women, from Korea and other areas conquered by the Japanese. One survivor, Kim Hok-sun, stated,
"When I was 17 years old, the Japanese soldiers came along in a truck, beat us, and then dragged us into the back. I was told if I were drafted, I could earn lots of money in a textile factory. The first day I was raped, and the rapes never stopped. I was born a woman, but never lived as a woman. I feel sick whenever I come close to a man. Not just Japanese men, but all men, even my own husband who saved me from the brothel. I shiver whenever I see a Japanese flag. Why should I feel ashamed? I don't have to feel ashamed."
Records from the brothels are scant and few survivors remain. An estimated 90% of comfort women did not survive the war. At the end of the war, some of the women were executed. Others were left by the Japanese military to their own devices, many lacking the resources to go home.
May 3rd, May 4th, these 2 days, the Japanese Air Force used the firebomb to bomb Chongqing. It's very important to our Chinese to remember. Sure, I couldn't forget it because I was there. Although I was only 5 years old, but I was there. And those days, 3 of us girls, my older sister was 7, I was 5, my younger sister, she is here. we all got a typhoid fever. You know the typhoid fever? We all in the hospital. So when the Japanese bomber come, the nurses move us to the basement in hospital building, onto the hospital building. And then when we back to the room, we find out, wow, my younger sister's bed covered lots of broken glasses because the bombing broken the window and all the glasses fell in her bed. So luckily we are not there, otherwise must be killed. Yeah.
Unit 731 was a unit in the Imperial Japanese military devoted to chemical and biological research through lethal human experimentation. Most victims experimented on were Chinese, as well as Koreans, Mongolians, and Soviets. まずその研究室に入りますと、長い椅子に5名の中国人のその囚人が腰をかけておりました。それでその中国人の手を見ますと、3人は手の指がもう全部黒くなって落ちておりました。残りの2人は指がやはり黒くなって、ただ骨だけ残っておりました。吉村技師のその時の説明によりますと、凍傷実験の結果、こういうことになったということを聞きました。ペストのみの実験をする建物があります。その建物の中に約 4,5 名の囚人を入れまして、その家の中にペストの実を散布させて、そしてその後、その実験に使った囚人は全部ペストにかかったと言いました。3,000 men, women, and children were subjected to experimentation conducted by Unit 731 at the primary camp, not including the victims from other medical experimentation sites like Unit 100. However, after the end of the war, Unit 731 was not charged for their war crimes, but secretly given immunity from the US government in exchange for the information gained from human experimentation.
There are a lot of important reasons to teach the Pacific War. One of the things is that when most people think about World War II, when my sophomores are coming in to the beginning of world history class, I think if you ask them to name the leader of Nazi Germany, I think most students would be able to name Hitler and have at least some concept of what he did, about the genocide, about the Holocaust. And so that's good. But I think if you ask students to name the military leader of Japan during World War II, I think that most of them would not be able to mention that. So I think it's important to teach students about what they don't already know. By ignoring it, you are not honoring the victims and not recognizing what people went through. It doesn't in any way make up for what happened, but I think that if you ask anyone who went through something really horrific like World War II, what they'll say is they want their stories to be told. They want people to know what happened. They don't want to just be forgotten and to feel like they lived through tragedy with no one ever understanding.
I have to commend the school and you people doing this program called The Bridge. I heard you said that. I think that's so important to make sure young people of today can see the wrong of the past and make sure it will not happen again.
This video serves not to attack Japan or the Japanese people based on their past actions, but to bring attention to the mistakes of the past. Stoking conflict because of a nation's previous crimes is the opposite of our intent. We wish only for proper recognition and respect for the pain that people went through. We hope that history education here at MIHS can expand and ultimately allow the students to develop a mature and insightful perception of the world.